Good morning. It's the Wall Street Weekly Wrap Up, July 13th, 2024. And I'm your host, John Newquist. And it was a start of the earnings week. A lot of stuff happening this week. And it was an interesting week, too. Let's talk about it. We're going to go into the first stock, which is going to be Taiwan Semiconductor. Look at us, 28% year-to-year revenue growth. There it is. That's good. That's, in effect, really nice. And that's what we want, you know. They are one of our three core AI plays. Remember, NVIDIA, ARM, and Taiwan Semiconductor. These three are necessary to make the advanced Blackwell chips and all the other things that are going to be so good with AI. So you got to have these three in your portfolio. And like I said, you know, if you would have bought it back way back when, you know, you've been all right. But it's going to come up over 200 pretty soon. I wouldn't be surprised to see a break this year. People are like, well, you know, it's going to rotate out of tech. Maybe. Not with 28% growth. That's pretty good. JP Morgan, we got the earnings out. Wow. Revenues, 22%. I'd like to see any bank beat that. MasterCard beat that. It is the ultimate on running the money. The investment, advisory investment division, doing great. 60% up on the revenues. Profitable. Bank stress tests were good. It's going kind of slowly up, which is fine. We love a slope like this with our 200-day moving average. We love that. We don't like it jumping all over the place. This is still steady growth, and as long as it stays around that area, we're fine. You know, this is what you want in a stock. And long-time holders, it's our biggest financial position, and had it for years. NASDAQ, 22%. Remember when people were talking about, oh yeah, it was like 10% and you ought to get rid of it and take your money? And now you would have lost another 12%. Dow, 40,000. Let me say, Dow, 40,000. Doesn't be much. I'd rather have the NASDAQ at 22% up this year. Russell 2000 went up. Here's our Russell 2000 stock. RZG, Vesco, small cap, 600 pure growth. Look at that little red dot. It broke the line. It's up now on a definitely year high. And like I said, you could have bought this back in, you know, when we come into the beginning of the year, people are like, oh, I don't want to buy small caps. Well, it's going good. You know, we don't expect to be a lot. We don't expect to double the money, but we want it to beat the indexes. So that's good. Remember our goal, beat that 17%. And the indicators, well, you know, it was interesting. Oil still up a high. 2-year notes below 5, which is good. Natural gas still hanging above 2. Gold, $2,400. Boom. Remember we was like 1,500, 1,600? We were buying a lot at 16, 17, 1,800. And now we're just sitting there 50% up. Doesn't pay interest, but you know, if all things go to hell, you have something you can go to sell anywhere in the world. Gold is good. Silver, $31, which is good. Copper, still in the mid-4s. Coffee, a record high. That's why I got my Keurig. That's why I got my few times I go to the, you know, chain stores, but generally it's cheaper to make it at I want to say almost a sixth of the price. $6 cup of coffee, you can make it for under $1. Under $1. So think about that. That's an interesting thing about coffee. Tesla, you know, they were hyping it. Oh yeah, we're going to get the taxi. Remember, Waymo is funded with Google money. Google owns part of Waymo, and they are working in San Francisco with the driverless taxi. He's talking about they want to do the August thing. He's got all these talks. He's a talker. And now it's going to be delayed till October, which could be delayed to December. I just watched the revenues. The revenues are not good with Tesla. So, you know, it shot up. It went up like 10 straight days. Boom, 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 and then come right back down. And boy, if you bought it up in the 260s, you know, guess what? You're not feeling good right now. And you're almost down 10% in less than 2 days, which is pretty tough digestion, you know. And that's why we watch these, you know, the tops. What's the level of resistance? CPI again, numbers are good. I like this. You know, we were years of 2, and now we're getting down just a little bit. I would take 3%. A lot of people get very upset at 3%. But, you know, I grew up at 5% inflation, you know, 4%. I think 3 is okay. But, like I said, the goal is by the Feds this one. I think they're going to have to make a cut. It might be this month. It might be this month. It'll surprise people. AMC, I always watch what people say, and especially the company. While the second quarter box office will continue to be affected by the 2023 Hollywood strike, we continue to be ebullient about the upcoming film lineup in the second half of 2024 and through 2025. Remember, the film strike lasted almost a damn year. That means everything sat. Nothing got done. Nothing was wrapped up, and they had to take up where they were at. So I just said, well, that's odd because AMC, has been sitting around, floating around on the fives. And I started thinking, what's going up the next 6 months? Oh, Despicable Me, Transformers, Deadpool, Alien, The Crow, Beetlejuice, Joker, Wicked, Kraven the Hunter, which is Spider-Man, Lord of the Rings. Wow. Who's going to benefit? AMC. These are going to be movies that are going to probably gross $100 million each. And you're talking, who's going to benefit? It's going to be AMC. We got by with that Inside Me from Disney going over $1 billion, but there wasn't much else out there this year. The first 6 months were lean, and the AMC paid for it. Now you would have said, okay, I bought in January, I was going to line up. Well, you'd have been about maybe 6, and you'd watch it go down to about 5, maybe 4.5. I think the lineup is good. I think the stock has got a lot of debt, but I think it's going to have a good quarter, and that gives me hope with a good 2024 that 2025 will be good also. I know a lot of the Marvel is going to kick up. Delta, considered the best airlines. I look at it, 5.4% increase in revenues. That's okay, But look at this chart. Wow, nice steady grower. It's doing well. It's doing great, and then boom, 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 boom. And they're booked. All the flights are booked this summer. 3 million people Sunday. I was one of the 3. Took an airplane and TSA screened them, which was amazing. I don't want to give any props to people if they don't deserve it, but TSA got me through 10 minutes. The expedited checkout through customs in a foreign country, 10 minutes. Wow. Uber from airport, $82 instead of a limo at $175. This is why people are traveling. It's actually pretty nice. I liked it. I didn't have any problems with the airports. I think it's well run. None of our wheels fell off like United, but we'll see. PepsiCo, they've been beaten up because when they got that bag of chips up to $7, I says, who's buying it? Who's buying it? I'll go buy the store brand, which is, probably made at the same place, and I'll go get that at like $3. It's just crazy. And, so they turned a profit, which is good because, remember, they lost some money. They didn't turn a profit when we get over here, and the industry made them pay down in February. So now we got 2 quarters. Is it great growth? 0.08. Woo, that's like pennies just profitable. But there was a bump. People did like it, so pays good. We're in Coke. That's their competitor. I think Coke's done better at management, but they're both too high. The food is too high. The pop is too high. They got to make it lower, and they can make it lower. Hedge funds. I just bring this up because this is a good stat. Why are the hedge funds trying to beat the S&P? Because that's what they make the money on. If you can beat the S&P, you're going to get money. But what are they owning? Well, guess what? A lot of our stocks. Microsoft. It was supposed to be Amazon. This is supposed to be Google. What was this? I must have been tired when I typed this in. Meta, Nvidia, JP Morgan, and ExxonMobil. So really, we've got 7 of the 10. And we look at Apple, low growth. Nvidia, negative growth. Visa, MasterCard, we're already in financial. We've got Morgan Stanley, we've got JP Morgan. They're good. But I'm not, it's just a matter of how many of these financials you want. So we're just going to go with our big 2. Because, our position JP Morgan's grown over the years, and we haven't sold a dime of JP Morgan. So, United Health Group, Johnson & Johnson, I would never touch until they get all this litigation done with. And Lilly, it's just a screamer. Up 60% this year alone. Wow. It's like, so we got Novo Nordisk, we got other things like Amgen, which set a high. The social sector. This is our new, there's 11 official sectors. I'm making the 12th. This one is a 12th one. There'll be another one we'll talk about later called transports. But social means, it makes people talk. People go out there, enjoy things. They see things. It's a social sector. And it's a big sector with Meta and Google. and Snap. And I showed the Snap chart. You know, Snap is all over the board, but it's doing well. They're advertising. They want Snap Premium, which I haven't bought yet. If they get me to go in there and get that, maybe I will, you know, buy some more. But boy, this resistance, just like we saw in Tesla, can it bust it? If it busts it, it's going over to 20. That's the thing we got to watch. But we're in it. We're in it cheap. We're in Snap very cheap. We also own TKO, which is WWE and UFC, which I'm a big fan. And like I said, this is a sector way over. We should have only 2, but we like the stocks. They're growing well. That's the big difference, growing well. And overall on the heat map, you know, it's a good week. A lot of greens. Look at this. As they're calling, a great rotation. They're rotating out of tech. Microsoft a little bit down, Amazon a little bit down, not even 0.5% down, but they're going into a lot of the stuff from healthcare to transports to basic materials, and that's a good rally. Good to see it through. You know, a little bit of red on the Meta, but you know, we're at a pretty big run for Meta. So JP Morgan, like I said, good week. Only one we bought is AMC. We haven't sold anything, and oh, we did. I'm sorry. I would say we did sell corn. We did sell corn because, you know, it was drought, and then Sunday when I came home, rain. Next day rain. Next day space. Next day rain. Today no rain. And I thought, well, there it is. That's all corn needs. We got 3 good soaking days. That'll take it to the harvest, and you know, I doubt we're going to get 12 days of drought again. So never know. It's going to be hot this weekend, but otherwise, we'll see you next week. It's been a good week. Enjoy it. You know, relax on Saturday or Sunday if you can.